It's one of the most hyped Nintendo games of recent years, but does it really pay off? It's been quite the mixed bag of design and fan expectations, but for me, it's actually been quite a worthwhile and enjoyable playthrough of a new Metroid game. Let's get started on the video. Hello there lovelies, it is me, Gent. I am back with another video, and it's most certainly not a late-ass video that I certainly was not putting off for the past few months and being all lazy about it, but well, here we are. And also, Happy New Year everyone, like it's now 2026, and this I believe is now the second year of the channel, and it's not exactly that popular of a channel, but I'm sort of slowly working on it, and I'll try to do more videos ASAP, so I'll try not to be too lazy with them. But we are here today to talk about the brand new release of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and that it's had quite a shocking turn of events in terms of how people respond to it and how people enjoy it, because all over the internet people are so mixed about this game. People say it's quite good, people say it's not very good, and it's now become as kind of low standard in their eyes as like Metroid Other M. But in my opinion, I still think it's a fun game, but I can see where people are coming from with like design sort of flaws and criticisms. So as per usual, I've written down some notes of like what I think about this whole situation, and a lot of what I'm gonna say is just what I think, and just you know, as usual, and it's just like what I think of the game, and also what I do agree with in terms of like criticisms of like maybe just like there's some things that aren't very fun or interesting about the game, but you know, let's get started. So fans have been waiting and clamoring for a brand new Metroid Prime game ever since Prime 3 finished. And so this has been a huge sense of anticipation for the game. And when it came out, and not only did people see that it didn't score the highest score on like Metacritic, for example, but when they played it, they were kind of let down by it, and like, they were like thinking, why is this game so linear? It's just like, it's so disappointing compared to the first Metroid Prime, or even all the other Metroid games. So I do feel like, I do kind of see where people are coming from in terms of like, I guess they're just, you know, it's not what they wanted. It was a bit kind of, it deviated a wee bit from the usual Metroid formula. It's maybe a bit too, for casual audiences really, and not so much that kind of complex exploration and discovery that you find in your typical Metroid games. And then I think the most famous kind of criticism of this game that everyone talks about is that the companions who meet up in this game are really talkative. Like, they talk all the time, and they always talk to Samus, who doesn't really respond at all to them and can feel very awkward and very weird. So I can see where people are coming from. That it's just, it should be a bit more changed and you know, up to speed with the way things are in gaming. With another kind of criticism is that it's not the most rewarding of Metroid games, since a lot of the kind of places or power-ups you can find are just kind of hidden in plain sight, and there's no like kind of reward or sort of thinking outside the box and thinking, oh, I could do this to activate this puzzle or solve this puzzle, and then that's, you know, how they can get a reward. But a lot of the kind of, you know, like energy tanks, missile power-ups are all just very kind of just like very obvious. There's nothing too challenging about them. And of course, I do think the pacing is not very good. In fact, it's quite bad, like in terms of like how you progress through certain areas and how fast and you can do them. Like, I think the biggest detractor is the stupid green crystal fetch quest that you have to do at the very end. That I think is worse than the Chozo artifacts of Prime 1. So like, I do think it was the most tedious, and you have to go through multiple screens and being very repetitive and doing the same things over and over again to just get the new suit and get the new power up to progress forward. And I do think the final showdown is very rushed, and a bit disappointing, since it's just it happens just like that, and it's not really interesting. It's very kind of hammered in a wee bit, and maybe could have been worked on a bit more, but you know, the game's out, so we're just gonna have to make do with it. And despite all of these criticisms, I still like this game. Like, I do think it was a really fun game to play. So I've written down here that I think the game looks really lovely. Like, it still feels a bit like a Switch 1 game, but it still looks really polished in most areas, and it looks really nice and atmospheric, and that to me is really cool. And it kind of shows that they put quite a lot of kind of care into presenting the game. The atmosphere in the game is most certainly there. You can certainly feel when you go into the different areas of the game, like what kind of areas they are, and that they really have this kind of rich feeling of like you can feel the cold, you can feel the just the greenery and the kind of the air, so to speak, when you enter like the ice belt. I think in my opinion was the coolest area, since you go really down into the depths and it gets really cold and really misty and creepy. One of the things I honestly feel about this game is that I think it's actually trying to synthesize the things that people hated about Other M with the better Prime games, and so that it actually tries to it tries to go for the same kind of talkative companions, a bit more story, and it tries to do that in a slightly more likable way, or in a more kind of fun way, to some extent, and some people might not like it, but I think it's actually really cool to show that they're trying to sort of improve what was previously hated. And I certainly think there is some fun to be found in discovering some of the locations in this area, like the flare pool, the ice belt, the vault forge. All these areas, like, not only look good, but they're also quite interesting of like how they've been designed. They are a bit linear, yeah, sure, but I do think at least the kind of visuals are there, and some of the puzzles are also quite cool and interesting. And you get some fun boss fights, in my opinion. Some of them are damage sponges, but a lot of them also require a bit of kind of strategies to a degree. Not like as much as some other games, but you know. So I think that's certainly, you know, to its credit. And so the bottom line of this video is that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is a fun game, but it's a bit flawed. It's just like, there's some things that I think maybe could have been done better, and I think they actually discovered through some interviews that the original game had to be scrapped, since it just was not meeting expectations of Nintendo, so they actually had to get Retro Studios to build upon that foundation to just try to at least complete the game. For I forgot who originally developed it, but Retro Studios took over and just tried their best with it, and you can kind of see that some of the open world sections don't really work, but there's some really lovely kind of polish and typical and familiar Metroid Prime elements. So all in all, I liked it. I invested a solid 20 hours into it, and I might go back to it. And that will do for this video, my lovelies. So thank you so much for watching, and please do comment if you do agree, or what you think about the whole Metroid Prime 4 Beyond situation. Do you have any sort of thoughts about this, and anything you'd like to contribute? Just feel free to comment down below what you think. And I'll hopefully catch you for the next episode, or whatever game I play, or whatever game I want to talk about. So cheerio!